So we got a huge event coming up. Who's number one?
Who's number one?
Gordon Ryan versus
Saturday, February 25th.
Felipe Pena Parquisa. This is their fourth match together over a 6-year period.
They're having another match?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what all that video was?
Yep.
Him driving that Corolla?
Yep.
What do you think about that, Chris?
What?
He
I saw
chooses to drive a Corolla instead of a fancy car, and he says that's his
Have you looked at that
slumber.
Corolla? That's a nice-ass Corolla.
It's like a brand new one.
It's beautiful.
They're not that bad.
No, that's not slumming it, and that's fine. He can do what he wants.
Yeah. He should see my 1985 Subaru Loyale wagon that I used to drive.
That's what my point is. It's like, it wasn't a Pinto, right?
I had to jumpstart that bitch. I always made sure I backed up onto a hill, and then I had a weightlifting bar.
I know.
And I had to hit the starter.
This is when I met Bill.
I had a Datsun, that B210.
Yeah.
Dude, I had a 70s Chevy Nova. All are questionable whether they were going to start.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's tongue in cheek, man.
Yeah.
It's like,
I think he's genuinely feeling like he is making life quote unquote harder for the training. Like he genuinely thinks he is, but it's
all relative.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it depends on what your other cars are, doesn't it?
Yeah, and he's got some nice cars. So.
He does. Yeah. I thought it was pretty funny.
But then also I think Felipe is kind of doing the same thing. He said he's living in a little apartment and all that. So
I like it.
They're both just torturing themselves.
I like it.
With Corollas.
With Corollas.
But yeah, this is coming this weekend.
Yeah.
Going to be a big one. Not just that main event, which I'm interested in, but I don't have as much interest as I kind of wish I did. But there's some other matches that are really good.
By the way, someone that's on the card, Giancarlo, there's that cool documentary on Flow. Did you guys watch it?
I have not yet.
Becoming Dangerous.
Yeah, it's like an hour long.
It's very well done.
There's actually a cameo of a couple of people in there.
Yeah, I know.
There's old Nikita, the Russian bot.
I was looking on the ADCC footage. I was actually looking.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Josh, Andrew, Glenn.
Yeah.
But so let's start from the bottom. We're going to do just the main card.
Okay.
I don't really know too much about the
Is
people.
the Gordon Ryan one, is that going to be unlimited or
Yeah, no time limit.
Again?
Yep, no time limit.
Fun.
So it's at least 45 minutes.
Oh dear.
Just for that match alone.
We'll see.
Hopefully it doesn't go till 1 a.m.
Well, for the East Coast, it definitely will.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
They're gonna be
Yeah,
so
because it's
mad.
starting 10 p.m. The main card starts at 10 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes.
So that's 7 for us here on the West Coast. Thank goodness.
And
Yeah.
actually, let's just all have a moment of silence and prayer for FloGrappling. Keep the card rolling. Match ends. Throw your little B-roll highlight of the next competitor, the second competitor, and then get the match going. Don't put up that little F with the music and let us wait 15 minutes because the first match was fast and now you got to fill time. And then we got 15 minutes, 20 minutes in between each freaking
We've talked about
match. Get that bitch rolling because that might be a 3-hour match.
Yep.
The final one. Mm-hmm. Like, stop it. Just go. Like Spider Invitational was fantastic a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
It's rolling.
I
Okay.
digest. Let's start with the first match on the main
Renee
card.
Souza and Kieran Kichuk.
Yes. Renee Souza, Kieran Kachuk. Dude, what do you know about these guys?
I don't know a lot about Kieran.
You know about Renee?
Yeah.
What do you know about him?
Well, I've seen him compete.
Yeah. So he is a tricky fella, brown belt, which in Nogi is like, doesn't even mean much, out of 10th Planet, a buggy choke aficionado.
Right.
Famous for buggy choking Jay Rodriguez to get on the Who's Next TV show. I think this is a very tall order. Kieran Kachuk is an absolute murderer. False reap, probably the best false reap practitioner
Nice.
in jiu-jitsu.
That's why I rely on you for this, because you're like our resident nerd here.
So, lethal leg locks. I mean, tenacious. When he's going after him, he's going after
That's
him.
going to be a problem then.
Big time. Now, curveball. He's about 155-ish pounds.
Yeah.
Renee is about 185.
Okay.
So he's going to have a pretty sizable size advantage, Renee Souza over Kieran. But
Yeah, you remember though back in previous ADCC where we had the holy cow, why am I blanking on his name? Absolutes. Lachlan Giles.
Yes.
Yeah. So you know what
It's-
can happen there.
yeah, now Renee's more of a leg lock. He's more proficient in leg locks than I think all of those giants that Lachlan slayed.
Sure.
But it's something to mention for sure.
Yeah.
I think Renee's a little out of his league on this one.
Okay.
Not to be shitty, but I think Kieran takes this in regulation with some sort of inside heel hook. That would be my prediction. I think they put it as the first match because it's going to be good.
Okay.
They both Renee has a lot of little tricky stuff besides the buggy choke. Yeah, he's just very crafty, and then Kieran is just tenacious on the attacks.
Well, I will then feed you these, and I'm gonna let you go.
Okay.
Okay, just like you do with my.
Well, unless if
No, of course. If I have something I want to add, I will. But so Jasmine Rocha and Amanda Bruce.
So here we have Wagner Hoka's daughter.
I was going to ask.
Yeah.
That is a relation.
Yeah, and just imagine Wagner Hoka's daughter, and you will imagine her because she's aggressive.
Excellent.
She's she made it to the finals against was it Tammy Musamechi this last Nogi Worlds, and took it all the way, I believe, to decision, if I remember right. It was a very close match. So she is top of the food chain already. Amanda Bruce, don't know a ton about her. I know she had a couple notable wins recently, but I also know she has a kind of a firecracker style. So this match I would look at as being one of the more entertaining matches on the whole card.
Oh, cool.
Because they're both just hard-nosed, aggressive, and it just, I don't know, a lot of time it seems like the ladies' matches are always just a little, they can be more fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with
They
that.
kind of put it out there a little bit more.
Yeah, I like it. That's
So I'm actually going to take Hoka on this one.
okay.
Yeah.
And next is Oliver Taza and Jonatas Gracie.
Yes. So not a true Gracie by blood, Jonatas Gracie.
Jonatas is.
But I don't remember how I know he's not a true blooded Gracie, but I think he like married in, or not, he didn't marry in, but like a family member did or something. But anyways, known as having some of the like best grips, one of the strongest people in his division, incredible base, just won Nogi Worlds. He did have a hurt knee by the end of the match, so that'll be interesting to see. He's done well against Taza in the past in IBJJF. This is not IBJJF.
No, it's not.
And we know Oliver Taza as being a very aggressive. He has a go-to sequence, and he gets after it. He's aggressive at getting there. So this will be really interesting to see if Oliver can off-balance.
He has a good camp, too.
Yeah. So Taza splits time between TriStar and New Wave.
New Wave, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, that's...
Yeah, the game plan's going to be there.
Exactly. From both places.
Yeah, really.
You got For Us a Hobby, and you got Danaher.
Yeah. And then
but I mean,
Jonatas is from Autos.
Yeah. That's going to be good.
Yeah, it's a nice little rivalry. We have rivalry from the Autos New Wave kind of deal.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I'm actually going to take Jonatas on this.
Interesting.
I think Taza is actually favored. And I get why. Because he's a leg lock specialist. It's free reign. Anything goes. No points, necessary. But Jonatas is, I think, one of the ways that you see Taza lose is when someone has tremendous foundation. They don't have openings. You can do a bunch of tricky stuff, but it's like a JT Torres kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's hard to catch them slipping. And Jonatas, I think, is like that. I think he's the underdog, but I'm going to go with him to win.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it. You're talking him up. Great. Now we have, speaking of, JT Torres and Majid Hage.
Majid Hage, Gorilla Hands.
Yeah.
As he is known because he's a baseball bat choke connoisseur. He's also got just huge hands. So this is going to be a good one for sure because it's a huge clash of styles. I cannot pick against JT.
No, man. It's hard for me too as well.
And so a little background, Majid Hage, he went through both South American trials, so both ADCC trials in Brazil and America. Made it to the finals on almost all of them by submitting everyone, but he never won the whole thing. So that's how he really kind of came about as like being a no-gi guy that like he was putting a lot of time in with the rotolos and stuff like that. And very dynamic style. Very fun style. Wears a t-shirt and board shorts. Looks like he's just coming off the boardwalk in Venice.
Digging it.
But very crafty. Very kind of not crazy unorthodox. Like let's say some people might say like a Ben Eddy or something like 10th Planet guy. But very flowy. Kind of like a Jeff Glover more so. Entertaining matches. Submission hunter for sure. He hates winning by decision. I love it.
Yeah, this is great.
JT Torres though. He's that guy. 2-time ADCC champ.
Yeah. He's one of my favorites for a while.
Yep. He's been a little quiet outside of ADCC. He's done a few opens where he just completely murders everybody. At this last ADCC, I've heard some podcasts talk about this. That, is JT slipping? Is he going like losing a step? And they cited at this last ADCC, he lost to a guy that didn't even get on the podium. Now, I think that's a little disingenuous, is one way to say it. Or I think there's context in there that needs to happen. The guy he lost to is PJ Barch.
Right.
And PJ Barch was having an amazing tournament.
Yep.
Okay. And PJ Barch lost to Cade Rotolo in a back and forth match that if he didn't get submitted towards the end of the match, PJ might have won.
Right.
So it wasn't like, he lost to a guy that didn't even make it on the podium.
Exactly.
Like PJ was putting it on every single person he went against.
Yeah, that's nonsense.
Yeah. So I don't, excuse me, I don't think, and he had a tough first round, JT did, against the B team Japanese guy, Katan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Forgot his name. I'm sorry. Ken Wanda, maybe. But I don't think that's a sign that JT Torres is losing a step. I think he's gonna come out here and be classic JT, and it's gonna be like a slow murder. But Majid's gonna make it entertaining. I think the card that they built here has a lot of entertainment value to it. Even though some guys like JT isn't the most entertaining from a flying around Hanato Kanuto Gary Tonin perspective, but it's like watching Marcelo Garcia. You're seeing a tactician or
absolutely.
a Hodger Gracie.
Yep.
Or Lucas Lepre. You have to be able, you have to appreciate guys that can do kind of like, I don't want to say real jiu-jitsu, but a style of jiu-jitsu that tricks don't necessarily work on, right?
It's like I'm going to do something to you, and you're not going to be able to stop it.
Yeah, it's going to be very like these little crafty things on Instagram are not going to stop it,
right?
So I think that's going to be an awesome one. I'm going with JT Torres.
Yeah, me too. Co-main light heavyweight title bout: Pedro Marinho and Giancarlo Badoni.
I mean, holy smokes!
It's awesome, right? But
give me your 2 cents. I know you know these guys.
Yeah, I do. Giancarlo's on a tear.
Yeah,
and his momentum. I just think his confidence is way up.
He's looking triple C thick,
dude. He is, and he's been given. Gordon saying that he's given him hell in the gym. So and I not to throw shade on Pedro. Right. I mean, the guy's phenomenal.
He's an MFer, that's for sure.
Yeah. But I'm going for Giancarlo on this one.
Okay. So Pedro Marinho, he's the current, I believe, 205 champ.
The light heavyweight. Yep.
And has the title for who's number one. He is a no-gi world champion, absolute and division. He beat Cyborg recently to get that absolute title. He is a guillotine specialist. He's one of the most aggressive stand-up jiu-jitsu guys there are.
Yep.
He's not afraid to push the pace, gas out, or anything. The man will just go. I love it, right? He'll be chippy. You'll love to hate him because he'll do a bunch of like kind of cheeky stuff or cagey stuff.
Sure.
But you'll love it, but then you hate it. If you shoot on him, he's gonna grab your neck and he's gonna try to take it home. Super fun to watch, especially if the person he's going against has any sort of energy like that. AKA Rotolo's. That was one of the best matches.
I was just about to say that was fantastic.
And Bodoni is going to bring out a tactful style that obviously he's got game plan with Danaher being in his corner.
I mean, do you remember the foot sweep he hit?
Yeah.
I mean, just like that kind of body lock kind of.
Yes, but it'll be very interesting to see.
I mean,
if Bodoni can get Mourinho down and hold him there, that's going to be a challenge because Mourinho is like an alligator. The guy will just scramble like crazy. I think the hand fighting will start slow from the stand-up position, but it's going to get more cagey. And then once they get to the ground, it'll be very interesting to see. But I think Bodoni takes his back and chokes him.
That's your call.
Final answer.
Man, I can't argue with that.
Yeah, but it's not going to be without any fanfare. I think there's going to be I think Mourinho probably maybe gets in the standing position, gets like rides his hips and like Matt returns him or something dynamic will happen. It'll be a really good one to watch. Now,
main event. So we all know who it is. No time limit. Heavyweight title bout. Gordon and Felipe are, doing this one again.
Yeah, Gordinho.
Yes. I mean, I love Felipe Pena's game. I've always liked him. I don't think he can surmount Gordon. I don't think he can.
Do you think it goes differently? As a refresher, what happened 45 minutes in?
Right. So, yeah. I for sure do think it goes differently.
Tap
yeah, there's some other things going on during that day, as we all know. Yeah. Some extenuating circumstances. But I really think it depends on what Gordon wants to do. I think it's at that level where I think he's going to kind of decide how he wants this match to go.
Right. So the stuff you're talking about that happened last time, the morning of the match, one of Felipe's very good friends, Leandro Lowe, very popular jiu-jitsu player, was murdered in a crazy way. And he was going to pull out. He didn't.
There's some back and forth.
He felt mentally compromised. Yep. Whether it's an excuse or not, it's neither here or there. We're just putting it out there. And then about 45 minutes in, Felipe almost stopped the match. It was kind of this awkward moment.
He went up to Howell, and
a couple minutes later, he did verbally stop. He looked very fatigued, and if you ask Gordon, it's because he ramped up, and that's why. Maybe a combo of the things where that fatigue, as we all know, when we do get tired,
oh my God,
we become weaker mentally, and with that stuff weighing on him, it was too much. Maybe I don't know.
I think that's a good call on that. I just think Gordon is still on such a level, though.
I think we have seen a little bit of a chink with in the armor with what NickyRod was able to do somewhat recently. And honestly, with the last match with Felipe and Gordon, I think we actually saw a little chink as well.
Yeah, I mean, it looked good. The first part of that, I mean, I agree.
First 20 minutes.
And I'm not going to say, I just think, first 20 minutes. But I still don't. It'd take a heck of a lot to put Gordon away.
So that's the thing. So the chink I was talking about with Felipe is he was able to force 50-50 every time Gordon came close to passing, or he did pass and then a regard happened. Felipe was extremely good at putting him in 50-50. Now, you would think that would be suicide to go into 50-50 with Gordon Ryan because he's a leg lock expert. But nothing ever came of it. And I think it's because the 2 times that Felipe beat Gordon was through a similar kind of back take off of a leg entry, an outside pressuring leg entry, and with essentially like a 50-50 kind of thing. And so I think Gordon is a little trigger shy on trying to be aggressive through the 50-50 because Felipe is so good at it. Now, saying that, Gordon and John Danaher are masterminds when it comes to strategy. And Felipe, I don't think, even though he went and joined Atos and he's got crazy training partners, Kainan Duarte, all this kind of stuff for the last month, how much better can you get in a month? I know he brought he brought Craig Jones in for a couple days. A lot of people were speculating it was because of cleaning up leg lock stuff. I don't think so. I think Craig has probably more mat time with Gordon than anybody, and also knows the body lock system as well as anybody. And I think that's how Gordon would essentially try passing is through either the body lock or the kind of like float leg pummeling kind of passing.
Yep.
And because NickyRod passed Felipe with the body lock.
Right.
So you bring Craig in to be like, what is he going to do? How do we defend it? Right.
Right.
I think that's why they brought Lachlan Giles in for a day. But once again, they haven't had much time from that third match to this match.
No, it hasn't.
I don't know if that's enough time to actually get truly better.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, you look at, they've made the point of Giancarlo's kind of just rapid improvement, like a 10-month period.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a little more.
Yeah. Super
doable.
intentional. And he switched for those 10 months. He switched from his normal training place. He moved.
Right.
And then he was training twice a day under John Danaher, 7 days a week.
Right. That's a lot of mat time.
And John Danaher has, 10 guys he's looking after strategically? At Atos, it's different, right? I'm with you, though. I think it's up to Gordon.
Yep.
If he wants to prove a point, not just, okay, I'm going to get him tired and then I'm going to wait for the openings at that point and then ramp up, which I understand why he does that. But if he's like, no, I'm going to try to finish him under 45 minutes, I think that'll be really interesting to see. But I think Felipe is good enough. If under 30, 40 minutes, he'll have enough gas to take advantage of a Gordon mistake. And I think there is a possibility that Felipe can win. But dang, dude, Gordon is...
that's a tall order, man.
That's a motivated Gordon, too, because
it is.
He wants to even the score. He hates that Craig went there. He hates that he's with Atos. There's all these motivating factors.
Yeah.
So... I'm picking Gordon as well.
Okay, good. Thank you for...
And the big reason is because I don't see how Felipe submits Gordon.
That was my point, is to finish him.
He gets his back. That's best case scenario because that's the 2 times it happened 5 years ago.
But that's 5 years ago.
But Gordon's defense...
I know.
You can point to NickyRod having his back in overtime, but once again, he started there. And number 2, the time thing and all that. So... Taking Gordon.
Yep.
Putting it on. Olivia, you got anything on any of those?
Nope.
Were you playing bingo?
She's playing bingo.
No, I wasn't playing bingo.
There's something else.
Something else going on over there.
I don't know.
Yes. So that's our picks. Check it out. Watch it this weekend on FloGrappling.
And this will be aired afterwards.
We're going to clip this. And
are we going to clip it before?
This little section we'll clip and put it out there early.
Okay.